Boycott, not only America, but the rest of the world is fed up with Meghan and Harry's antics. They're a couple of narcissists, and they think the whole world should look up to them and praise them. But we find that they have done remarkably very little of interest or real benefit for anything or anybody. As an overly privileged person, Harry, who grew up in a family dedicated to making other people's lives better, well, he's especially a big disappointment. Meghan, on the other hand, well, she's just your average user and taker. And it's not only some Americans who feel like that, they are everywhere. Meghan and Harry are insufferable. They're a couple of liars. They're spoiled, they're selfish, they're rich, they're narcissistic, middle-aged trolls. And they are looking for immortality by always courting the worldwide media. And that way it's going to guarantee, in their pathetic minds, that they're going to be these everlasting stars, just like Antony or Caesar and Cleopatra. Meghan Markle and Harry are going to try to change the empire and the world. Yeah, right. At first, it wasn't all that surprising to many people. It was sad for the late queen, though. She was Harry's grandmother. She was so unique. She was such a remarkable woman. Therefore, of course, many people were interested in her. But now, since the queen has passed away, Meghan and Harry have gotten even worse. They are showing how awful they really are to Harry's father, the king. Harry and Meghan have no respect for, loyalty to, or even love for the royal family, and especially Harry's own father, the king. It's really pitiful. It's just inhuman the way they act. I think they were inspired by the devil to destroy the royal family. But you know what? The thing about it is, neither of them is smart enough to understand that by trying to destroy the royals, they are only destroying themselves, because without the royal family, they are nothing. Even we Americans understand that one. They're like somebody who stuck up a tree and they decide to saw off the branch that they're sitting on. Both of them are too dim to understand that they're going to go crashing to the ground. This is narcissism at its finest, and it's also the hypocrisy we see in them. It's the calling up of the paparazzi to let them know where they're going to be, and then whine that they're being so bothered by the paparazzi. And not only that, but it's when they get up on their soapboxes and lecture all of us about how we should live because of climate change. Meanwhile, they're jetting all around the world, only flying in private jets, and they live in McMansions. It is the absurd puff pieces that their PR people put out on a regular basis to try and change our opinion about them. But we're not that stupid. I mean, it's just so ridiculous and transparent. And then what about the way that they got an award for calling out racism in the royal family, and then they turned around and said, oh, we never said there was racism in the royal family. It's the way they blame everybody else for their mistakes. It's the wool they try to pull over our eyes by trying to act like real authentic people and failing big time. Most people can easily read or listen to one of the many interviews that Harry and Meghan have done, and they can see the fakeness of them. You can't fool all the people all the time. But I think it's important to add that most of us have been abused by somebody in our lives, many of us by a relative in whom we have invested a lot of time and energy and good deeds and money. So what I'm trying to say is this: most of us have really loved a family member in an over-the-top way. We have done everything that we could think of doing to help them, and then they turn around and they stab us in the back. They betray us. They don't show any gratitude. They don't show that they even understand or recognize our generosity of spirit, and it's incredibly painful to experience that. It hurts deep inside. It's the kind of hurt that can crush a person. It's the kind of hurt that is beyond tears. Crying doesn't even help it. And that's what the whole world had a front row seat to watch, unfortunately. The very public attacking and betrayal of the Queen, Harry's grandmother, the Prince of Edinburgh, Harry's grandfather, Charles, his own father, Camilla, his stepmother, William, his brother, Catherine, his formerly beloved sister-in-law, and everybody in Meghan's family except for Doria. We all feel a lot of empathy for these people. I mean, the only mistake they made was trying to love them and doing the best they could to help them. And then, to make things even worse, Meghan and Harry declared how disappointed they are with the whole country of England and its Commonwealth nations too, because everybody who lives in England, and apparently the Commonwealth countries as well, is a big fat racist. I will always believe that their evil actions hastened the death of Harry's grandparents, and they made their last few years of misery. Let's not forget the horrible beyond words treatment of Thomas Markle. He raised Meghan on his own because her mother abandoned her. And it's got nothing to do with Meghan's skin color. Just like William told Harry, she's annoying, she's arrogant, she's rude. Slowly but surely, people started to see her lies for what they were, and so of course they didn't like her anymore. Nobody wants to be taken for a fool, especially the public who had welcomed this marriage. Clearly, Meghan just made a lot of things up as she went along, which was pretty bold to watch for people who do their research. Americans have also always had a deep respect and love for Her Majesty the Queen, and Meghan became so disrespectful, which really shocked us. It all became a lot worse really fast. Meghan was turning the royal family into some type of cheap melodrama, and it's still going on. It didn't take very long for her level of narcissism and phoniness to turn people's stomachs. And then people started to feel sorry for Harry until he also became exposed, and he threw his family under the bus. They had supported him, they had covered up for his bad behavior for years. I mean, blatantly continuing to sponge off your family and their accomplishments makes you a bottom feeder. They have somehow managed to take the royalty as we knew it, and they replaced it with this ridiculous comedy show that makes us dislike both of them. And it's not only my fellow Americans who feel like that, it's people all around the world. But maybe people in the US have more reasons than many. I mean, these fools expect rules to be changed for them. And as a lawyer told them, it ain't gonna happen. As much as Harry said bollocks about the First Amendment said bollocks to them. Harry is American in his own special way, and he expects all the countries to just change to suit his whims. It's really kind of funny when you think about it. And Meghan, well, she's just a bully and a liar who wouldn't know the truth if it hit her in the face. Both of them are just as bad as one another. They're self-entitled, they're nasty people, and they love the attention while telling the world, oh, we want our privacy. Meghan would absolutely die if she wasn't getting photographed, and that's why she's got that PR company to leak information about her. She is such a narcissist. It tells us a lot that Hollywood doesn't want anything to do with her. They're not calling her to cast her in any acting parts. Meghan has tried to portray this image that she's an actress, but the reality is she only got that job on Suits because of her husband Trevor. She doesn't have any talent, and nobody in Hollywood wants to open their doors for her. So between the both of them, neither Harry nor Meghan have any skills that could get them a job. So soon enough, the merchandising of those children's titles is going to be the only way they have to make money, unless maybe they try another documentary or another book filled with lies. But people all around the world don't care a bit for liars, whiners, and gold diggers like the two of them, especially Meghan. If Americans like the idea of the royal family, then even if they don't have to be loyal to them, they realize that Harry is a whiny brat, and he's not talented, he has no skills. The only thing he has to sell is dirt on his own family, and a lot of it's all made up anyway. So of course, people don't respect him. Well, Meghan, she's got no talent in the first place, and she was never a famous actress. Instead, she was a Z-list yacht girl, and nobody likes a gold digger. The way that she acted in the past has really changed people's opinions about her all over the world. What exactly can they offer Americans? As far as I can tell, nothing. All Meghan has ever wanted is to be noticed all around the world, and well, she's got that. She's infamous now. It doesn't really matter to her what other people think of her. She thinks she's so far above everybody. In many ways, they are two peas in a pod. I mean, it looks like both of them are just as bad as one another. Maybe they should have to go live on an island somewhere and they can be carefully patrolled by sharks, so then they can't get off and annoy the rest of us. Wouldn't that be nice? And you, what do you think about this couple? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. Don't be afraid to like and share my video with your friends and family members who need it if you think it's helpful. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.